Royal Caribbean's newest cruise ship will debut with all passengers and crew over age 16 vaccinated. It departs from Israel this May. Details on what proof of vaccination will look like for passengers are still being deliberated. Joining me now is the cruise genius, Scott Lara. Scott, thank you for being with us this morning.
It's great to be with you, Jen. Real quick shot. I'm going to ask my cameraman to go to the right for a minute. I'm in beautiful, go ahead. I'm here in beautiful Jamaica today.
Check that
85 degrees, Danielle, today in Jamaica. And I will tell you, it's a beautiful day. But you're exactly right. The Odyssey of the Seas is in Israel, and they will have both a vaccinated crew and vaccinated passengers. That's correct.
And we're talking about vaccinated crew, vaccinated passengers. Do you think that this is the future of cruising here in the U.S.?
Absolutely. It's going to be the future of cruising, because what's going to happen is the cruise lines and the CDC are working very closely together to make sure cruising can resume. There's actually a couple senators that are trying to get cruising to resume in Alaska because you can't go through Canada at the moment. So yes, I believe in the near future, it's going to be vaccinated crew and vaccinated passengers if you want to cruise.
How big of an undertaking is that going to be for some of the cruise lines in the United States?
It really won't be so bad about the cruise lines. What my concern is Americans. There's a huge anti-vax sentiment in the United States, and there's a lot of cruisers that will not take the vaccine. They just won't take it for personal reasons. So I think it's going to hurt the cruise lines very deeply. And that's why I'm here in Jamaica at Lady Hamilton, because I did have to get a COVID test 10 days prior to flying down here. And I do get a free COVID test, like I'm flying back today, and I had to get a COVID test. But they are not requiring that I get a vaccination prior to coming here. So I think in the long term, and even in the short term, all-inclusive resorts are going to see more guests. And I think the cruise industry is going to be hurt by it.
And how devastating could that be for the cruise industry, especially after the last year?
It could be devastating because, like the Odyssey of the Seas you were talking about it a moment ago, it's 4,500 passengers, 1,400 crew. There's a lot of folks on those ships, and the accountants at these different cruise lines are counting on, getting income. The cash burn has been significant in the billions of dollars. So it's going to hurt the cruise industry because of the vaccinations, and I'm sorry to hear it.
And as you mentioned, you're in Jamaica right now. Did you have to get a vaccine before you could travel there?
No, that's the great part. 10 days prior to me catching my flight out of Jacksonville, I just had to get a COVID test. And then I had to fill out a travel authorization form online, showed it at the airport, was able to fly down here. And then 3 days before me flying back, I had to get a free COVID test here at the Palladium Lady Hamilton. I'm going to show that today at the airport, and I'm back in Jacksonville tonight.
And Scott, you've been traveling recently the last few months amid this pandemic. Are the hotels and the airlines, are they still really strongly implementing a lot of the safety measures due to the pandemic?
Absolutely, especially Delta Airlines. Delta is continuing to keep that center seat empty for safety. Southwest and other cruise lines are packing them in like sardines. But again, like at Jack's Airport, I mean, they're doing a great job with cleanliness and everything. So I definitely feel safe over the past year traveling.
Scott Lara, as always, thank you for being with us this morning, and safe travels.
Thank you, my friend.